Appreciates it.
She just does it because it's Joyce.
Yeah.
So she is. She's a good lady.
Yep.
We're on, just so you know.
We're on? Oh, okay, we will go back into session here. I don't think I need to do anything more than that. We're out of recess. Mrs. Watkins, regional planning.
We passed around the sign-in sheet to everybody that is due, besides Stacy and the commissioners, so if you can sign in, that'd be great. And then we have agendas for everyone.
My first two signatures are free. This one's gonna cost you.
There's three, so pass those down, one's for Nikki.
Thank you.
And go there.
Thank you.
So this is the official public hearing to finalize the projects for the fiscal year 2017 or program year 2017 CDBG grant, Community Development Block Grant for Seneca County, including City of Fostoria, excluding City of Tiffin. City of Tiffin has their own allocation. We are going to cover the Community Development Implementation Strategy Review and Approval, the allocation projects, and the set-aside competitive funding application projects. The commissioners have already approved the application for the set-asides. We just want to do our formal public hearing on it. So to start, we're going to go with the Community Development Implementation Strategy. So I'm going to hand out the approved activities from the CDIS meeting. Community Development Implementation Strategy is CDIS. So you will always hear me refer to it that way. We held 2 public meetings that included elected officials, nonprofit sector employees and businesses, community citizens. Whoever wanted to attend was more welcome. They were in public meetings to have the public's choice and the citizens' choice on what kind of activities Seneca County would be interested in over the next 2 to 3 years for community development. We held ours a little differently than other communities did because we looked at what the activities were and the projects together, and we rated out activities and then projects. People that attended were able to vie for their projects and talk about how it would impact their residents and the population of Seneca County and how it would work. So when we're all said and done, the approved activities by the meetings were fire protection facilities and equipment, street improvements, water and sewer facilities, neighborhood facilities and community centers, parks and recreation facilities, sidewalk improvements, public utilities, public rehabilitation, planning, parking facilities, fair housing program, general administration, homeless prevention, water facility improvements, code enforcement, interim emergency rental assistance, homelessness prevention, implementation, and utility payments. Those were the activities that have been approved. So activities mean these are the things that the Community Development Implementation Strategy meetings said this is what's important for Seneca County as a community, this is how we feel, and we would like the commissioners to agree with us. Out of that, they then came up with some activities that they felt were necessary to be completed, basically some jurisdictions that we need to work on. So to meet with the activities and apply with the CDIS and apply for CDBG, we looked at Seneca County as an entirety for fair housing program, the village of Attica for code enforcement and downtown programs. That would have been demoing the Eagles building, upgrading lighting, creating green space facade improvements. Hopewell Township, Ohio, neighborhood facilities and sidewalk improvements to upgrade, install electric service in Meadowbrook Park, new generator for emergency muster station for the township residents, and new sidewalks in the Bascom area, I think down by the ice cream place in Meadowbrook. The village of Bloomville, Ohio, water and sewer facilities to repaint liner and water tower, clean interior of water tower, paint water tower, supply safe water system to the village residents. Village of Republic, Ohio, water and sewer facilities, replace failing outdated water metering system and required support software and equipment. Seneca County as an entirety, The public rehabilitation, upgrade the first floor public restroom in the county services building to meet the ADA compliance. Seneca County as an entirety, parking facilities, replace the parking lot at the county services building for accessibility requirements. Seneca County, excluding the city of Tiffin, Ohio, because the city of Tiffin has their own allocation program, we're not excluding them for any other reason. Homeless prevention, and that's to provide monetary assistance with first month's rent and deposit, delinquent mortgage payments, and education to the community to prevent homelessness and decrease the homeless population. New Riggle Sewer District in Ohio, water and sewer facilities to upgrade sewer pump station, replace pumps, auto dialing system, and the chemical feed pumps. Clinton Township, Ohio, fire protection facilities and equipment, upgrade or replace failing or outdated equipment. In the village of New Riggle, Ohio, sidewalk improvements, replace hazardous sidewalks in the village limits and curb cuts. These are all approved jurisdictions per the activities. We also still have activities that don't have jurisdictions aligned to them because this is our plan for community development over the next 2 to 3 years for Seneca County. So this could extend into the next CDBG grant. It also gives us something to look into for the work that we perform throughout Seneca County. So what we would like to do is we would like to ask the Seneca County Commissioners to approve the Community Development Implementation Strategy as stated on the resolution. Are there any questions about the CDIS?
My question would be, these are the projects that you're giving us based on the implementation strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Are there a list of other projects that were applied for our review?
This is just for the CDIS, not for the CDBG grant application. We have to do the CDIS for the CDBG. But we did not have anybody else present, if I remember correctly. Everybody who came, their info was heard and everybody agreed to them.
Okay.
So we're, like I said, this approval is just for the CDIS portion.
Correct.
Okay, so we have a resolution for that, correct?
And she does have all those, she just read off, it looks like all of these are on the resolution, so. So I have a resolution, approval of the Community Development Implementation Strategy.
So moved.
Second, roll call, please.
Commissioner Stacy?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas? Commissioner Kirschner?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, next thing. We're going to cover the allocation projects that we would like to apply for, and we will ask for approval on those from the county commissioners as well. We are very fortunate in Seneca County that we had 5 projects actually this year that we're looking at doing that came out of the CDIS and then what funds we have available. Seneca County's current allocation is $297,000 for program year 2017, which is 2017 and 2018. We had estimated $240,000. So the exciting part of that is we are able to reduce the amount of match that the communities that would have presented a match have to put into their projects, and increasing some of their projects. So it makes life a lot nicer for them, and we can disperse a lot more funds out to our county and get a lot of projects done. So what we're looking at doing would be the Village of New Riggle replacing 8,898 square feet of sidewalk along Finley Street, Perry Street, Tiffin Street, replacement of curbs and curb ramps, and that's to benefit the low to moderate income persons in their community. We would then be looking at working with Seneca County, City and Tiffin, and City of Fostoria United Way. And they want to form a partnership between the two to provide homelessness prevention to help with delinquent rent, mortgage payments, first month's rent and deposit, and education and outreach for homelessness, and that would be $50,000 from the Community Development Block Grant. We would then also like to ask for money for the New Riggle Sewer District to replace the 3 pumps, at 2 pump stations, replacing the emergency auto dialing and chemical feed pump, and that's $33,106. Clinton Township Fire District would like to replace and upgrade equipment, and that's $60,000. Then at the Seneca County Services Building would be to upgrade the first floor restroom in the County Services Building with handicap ADA compliant modifications, and that's $15,000. And then we would do administration and fair housing at $59,400 to total $297,000. We are receiving match funds from the Village of New Riggle towards their project and from Clinton Township towards their project. And that would be for the CDBG allocation funds. And we're requesting approval from the county commissioners to move forward with that.
Okay, now when you talk about match funds, what percentage are we talking about, dollar per dollar, or?
No, we were able to reduce it quite a bit. The Village of New Riggle was actually going to give us 60% of their project, and Seneca County would only have to pay for 40%. Because we were allocated so much more, we could reduce their match amount, and they're able to take and increase their project and now use some of their own funds towards furthering more projects on sidewalks that they hadn't applied for.
So how much was that reduced to?
We went from 60 to 21 to 21. And then Clinton Township Fire District is doing 10 or 15?
I think it's 15.
15,000.
Okay, now, Clinton Township was talking about trying to raise money for a new fire station as well.
Yes.
None of this is for that.
This is not for that because Clinton Township Fire Department is still in process on some steps that they have to take before we can move forward with their building.
And all these projects are out of the projects that was listed on that last.
CDIS.
And did your meetings narrow it down to these 5?
Yeah, I mean, that's the 5 that applied. And then we had the parking lot that came up, and we discussed all projects with our rep from the state, and they felt the parking lot was not an applicable, it wouldn't have scored as high for us.
So,
And
So we went with the restroom, because we had 2 to choose from that.
and the Baskin project fell off because they couldn't do their LMI or approve it.
That is under set aside funds and competitive funding, and they were unable to collect all the required income surveys, but that is not based on the CDBG cycle. It's based on a different cycle. So we're gonna address that after we get done with the CDBG application and try to work with them for their next application process.
So I think that's the only one I think I've heard you mention that isn't on here right now.
Correct, because they fell off.
Okay.
They actually formally withdrew when they couldn't collect all their
let me
surveys.
make sure I understand. Everyone that applied for money except for the parking lot has been approved.
Correct.
Okay, next.
So I just need a motion to approve the resolution.
So there's a resolution for.
Yep, I have a resolution for the approval of projects and amounts for the CDBG fiscal year 2017 Community Development Program and authorizing the current president of the board, Seneca County Commissioners, to sign the application to be submitted for the county program year 2017 Community Development Block Grant Program. This is actually for 16 money, 17 money, and 18 money, or just
17,
17?
18.
17, 18.
Yeah, the 16,
We didn't
it's
carry
all
over?
changed now, how they do it. So we're on a 2-year program cycle, so we probably got a little bit of 16 that carried over, but we're on a 2-year program cycle, so it's 17, 18 is our program cycle.
So I know before you came on, we didn't do a project in 16, and we asked to carry that money over since, we didn't have a director.
Right, they can't guarantee carryover anymore, so they gave us the whole allocation of 297, they're not saying whether that's carryover or not, they're saying that's your allocation for program year 17, which is 17 and 18.
And it was higher than we anticipated, so.
Correct, so we're not upset.
That's right, yeah, we can't, I guess.
Okay, so we have a motion for approval.
So approved, so moved.
I will approve second.
Yeah, there you go.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Stacy?
Yeah.
Commissioner Thomas? Commissioner Kershaw?
Yes.
With that, we are presenting a resolution to affirm Seneca County's due diligence to provide fair and equal housing opportunity and affirmatively further fair housing in Seneca County, Ohio. As the fair housing administrator for Seneca County, and the consortium is held at Regional Planning. Every time we do a CDBG grant, we have to reaffirm this for the grant. So I'm asking for your approval on the reaffirmation of furthering fair housing. Nothing has changed on it besides the dates. There's no new legislation. It just is what it is. And we have to just reaffirm it.
And she read the title, so.
Okay.
So moved.
Okay, I will second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Stacy?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas? Commissioner Christian?
Yes.
As part of the CDBG program, you have to name your labor compliance officer for the CDBG program. We are presenting a resolution to name myself as the labor compliance officer for CDBG program so that I can monitor all the programs and make sure they are meeting prevailing wage, have their posters posted like they're supposed to, and doing what they said they're supposed to do. So we presented a resolution asking for the commissioner's approval on that as well.
So moved.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Stacy?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas? Commissioner Christian?
Yes.
So then moving on to the CDBG FY17 set-aside program, we have submitted information to the ODSA requesting letters of interest for 2 critical infrastructure programs, one in the Village of Republic and one in the Village of Bloomville. Both were pre-approved for application, which means that you have to say we're interested, and then they say, yep, looks like a good project, now you can apply for it. We are now open to apply for those, and the commissioners have previously approved both of those projects. The one would be for the Village of Republic to replace 225 failing water meters, handheld software, and required IT equipment. The second one is for the Village of Bloomville to repair the village water tower as we have discussed. One of the requirements of the CDBG program as we apply is that we have to spend down some of our revolving loan fund that we have, and we have economic development revolving loan funds over $100,000. We have to spend some of that down. So what I am requesting is that we provide the 10% match for each project from the revolving loan funds. So that would be $26,321 for the Village of Republic and $7,098 for the Village of Bloomville, for a total of $33,419 to be used from the revolving loan fund for the required 10% match.
So one's a 10% and Bloomville is,
They're both at 10%.
what, give me the number from Bloomville again then?
The Bloomville is $140,960, but Bloomville has also committed some of their own funds towards that project.
Okay, so that's a total of 10% with Bloomville's match and the loan money.
Mhm.
Loan money. And then for Republic, they're not putting anything in this project?
They do not have funds to put towards it.
Okay.
I'd like to request their approval of the commissioners for that as well.
Approval of the use of program income funds from the 3064 revolving loan as the required 10% match for critical infrastructure projects for the Village of Republic and the Village of Bloomville, and amounts for the CDBG fiscal year 2017 community development set aside.
So moved.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Stacy?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas? Commissioner Christian?
Yes.
Those are the projects that we will be working on. The application is due July 14th. So, as my staff in regional planning knows, I'm going to be pretty cranky. Please don't take it personally. But we are working through it. I think Jen and I are about halfway through a few things. We're pretty excited to have some things already done. And we are meeting with some engineers on critical infrastructure projects as well next week. So we are moving forward, we'll get the application submitted. So if you need me, you can call. If I don't answer, if I don't email you back, it's nothing personal. Please understand that we are under time constraints. And because of the late notice from the state, they did not extend our due date, so it gets a little, and their system's not working right, and I can't put things in, and it just gets ugly, so we'll just leave it at that. So if anybody has any questions about the CDBG grant or the CDIS, please let me know. I'll be glad to answer them. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, where did you say that parking lot was that did not get approved?
The CSB building, Community County Services Building.
Board of Elections, right there beside.
Thank you.
And I just want to commend all the communities for preparing the information that they did prepare and being as willing to submit applications to us, the pre-applications to review. I think this is the first time in a very long time we've had that many choices, and it's fulfilling to know that we're able to do that for all these communities.
Thanks for the guidance, because I mean, in a year of a lot of changes with the CDIS portion of this being new, the 2-year program, there's been a lot of steps to get people involved and engaged to show that we had that outreach and to bring nearly 300,000, comfortably into this, that they are awarding to us is exciting because we're impacting a lot of areas across the county. And so that's good. It's not just 1 or 2 areas that apply. Like I said, a lot of people are gonna benefit.
Do we need any, like, backup projects?
Not at
Like
this
if
point.
something, okay,
Because the two for the set aside are competitive,
okay.
and we're not using any CDBG funds from the allocation as match. So that's great that I don't have to have a backup for those.
Okay.
And then the other 5 projects actually fall right under allocation requirements, so we don't have to have a backup for those either.
I just remember Joe used to have us have a backup project just in case.
You could, but at this point, I do not see the necessity when you have
Okay.
this many. I think we're fine, and I've already vetted these,
Okay.
so they were all, sounded pretty solid.
The 2 set aside, which is another 405 on top of the nearly 300, is the deadline the same for those 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So technically, we're applying for 3 different grant applications, all due by July 14th, to potentially bring in almost $700,000 into Seneca County.
Okay. Mayor Bullion, do you have anything to add?
I'd like to thank everybody for this. This has been a good opportunity for the village to replace a lot of our worn out sidewalks and everything else.
Good.
And she's done a great job, her and Jen helped me out with this, so I appreciate that.
Good. Thanks for being here. Glad to have you.
All right, well, if there's no further business, we will adjourn the public hearing at
22.
11:22. No lunch for you.
Snap your fingers, Ron.
Story of my life.
Okay, time
Thanks,
for
Larry.
public comment. Anyone have anything to add this morning? Hearing none, we are adjourned.
Thanks, everybody.